If P is some function of X and it's a differentiable price or demand function, then the price elasticity of demand is given by the Greek letter eta. It is defined as price function over X divided by change in price function or its derivative with respect to X. In easier terms, we're going to look at, and if you think of this as a complex fraction, it's going to be the price function over X times the derivative of the price function. For a given price, the demand is either elastic, and that's when the absolute value of eta is greater than 1, inelastic, when the absolute value of eta is less than 1, or you can have unit elasticity when the absolute value of eta is equal to 1. The price elasticity of demand is related to the total revenue function. If the demand is elastic, then a decrease in price is accompanied by an increase in unit sales sufficient to increase the total revenue. If the demand is inelastic, then a decrease in price is not accompanied by an increase in unit sales sufficient to increase the total revenue. Now, some examples would be like a drop in the price of fresh tomatoes might result in a much greater demand for fresh tomatoes. Such a demand is called elastic. Basically, think of it as if you were to drop the price, more items would be in demand. For inelastic, the demand for such items such as coffee or gasoline is relatively unresponsive to changes in prices. The demand for such items is called inelastic. And unfortunately, we understand the struggle, especially with gasoline. The prices are crazy, but we still buy it because we have to get to work, school, and other things. So let's look at some examples. Consider the following. We have a demand function that is defined as 800 minus 3x. The derivative of that function would just be negative 3. The quantity demanded is x equals 24 units. So first, let's find the price elasticity of demand. From the first slide, eta is equal to P over x times P prime. P is given 800 minus 3x. X, that's just our unit variable. P prime is negative 3. So your denominator is negative 3x. Quantity demanded, if we substitute 24 into our eta function, 800 minus 3 times 24 over negative 3 times 24. The numerator calculates to 728. Our denominator is a negative 72. This fraction here, and you can reduce it. This is what WebAssign is going to want, so I made a little note with WA here for WebAssign. If you were to actually divide those in your calculator, you get a negative 10.11 approximately. WebAssign likes a fraction. Then you're going to be asked if the demand is elastic, inelastic, or of unit elasticity. So for that one, you take the absolute value of your answer, either one, the fraction or the decimal approximation. You take the absolute value, and that is greater than 1. So that tells us that the demand is elastic. Dropping price could result in an increase in demand. Now, for part C, you're going to be asked to graph the revenue function and find intervals of elasticity and inelasticity. So for that, think of, again, revenue is X times P. So that's X times the demand function given at the very top in your original problem. In the other video for elasticity, I distribute the X. In this video, I don't. And that way you can pick which technique you like better. If you don't, then revenue is equal to 0 when X equals 0. Or when 800 minus 3x is equal to 0, and that occurs at 800 over 3. If you don't distribute and you just set each factor from the revenue function equal to 0, you get your starting value 0, your ending value 800 over 3. That will help you pick the right graph on WebAssign. Halfway through this interval is 400 over 3. If you were to cut the end number in half, you'd have 400 over 3. Unit elasticity occurs at that number. Your revenue function is elastic from 0 to the top of the hill, which is 400 over 3. So your open interval of elasticity is 0 to 400 over 3. The second half of the revenue curve is the inelastic interval, and that is from 400 over 3 to 800 over 3. Let's do a repeat example, but change up our functions a little bit. Consider the demand function 18 minus 0.0003x. The derivative of that function is just the coefficient of x. The quantity demanded is 30,000 units. Find the price elasticity of demand. So we're going to do P over x times P prime. P is given. X times the derivative of P. So it's just 0.0003x with a negative. Don't forget the negative. Quantity demanded 30,000 plugged into our eta function. Substitute in carefully. You get 9 over negative 9, which is negative 1. The absolute value of negative 1 is 1. So this is an example of unit elasticity. Graphically, we have found the point at the top of the hill. Graph the revenue function, which is x times p, x times p. And again, in this video, I don't distribute the x like I did in the other. X equals 0, that's your starting value. 18 minus 0.0003x is equal to 0 when x is 60,000. That's your ending number. The start and the end will help you decide on which graph to use on WebAssign because it is multiple choice. Halfway, 30,000. That is where our unit elasticity occurs, and revenue at that value, 30,000, is 270,000. That will also help you decide on which graph is correct. Elastic is always the first half of your revenue curve. Inelastic is the second half of your revenue curve. So once you figure out where your curve starts, stops, and halfway between, then you can write these intervals. Elastic will be the first half of your revenue curve, 0 to 30,000. Inelastic is the second half of your curve from 30,000 to 60,000. And so that's how you decide on your open intervals of elasticity versus inelasticity. And finally, one more example. The demand function for a product is modeled by P equals 600 minus 2x. I quickly jotted down the derivative underneath here. P prime is going to be negative 2. That P prime is always the derivative, and it's usually the coefficient of your x. Determine when the demand is elastic and inelastic. Now for this one, because the inequality has underlined less than, so it's less than or equal to, we're going to use brackets. In WebAssign, all the other ones besides that last one, you'll use parentheses all the way. For this one, when you see this domain, this is the only example in WebAssign where you'll use a bracket at the beginning and the end. I just wanted to point that out. Let's build eta. Eta is equal to P over X times P prime. So P is 600 minus 2X over X times P prime, that's negative 2X. Finding the unit elasticity, that occurs when our absolute value of eta is equal to 1. Now remember, absolute value is distance from 0 on a number line, so that can occur at positive or negative 1. So underneath here, determine when the demand is of unit elasticity, we're going to take eta, put it in the absolute values, and set it equal to 1. Once you've done that, then you take your eta function and you put it equal to negative 1, because that's one of the situations that can occur, or when your eta function is equal to positive 1. When you do the math, only one of these will make sense. Multiply both sides by negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 2x is positive 2x. Add 2 x's to both sides, that's 4x equals 600, telling us that x can be 150. In the other case, when we have eta set equal to 1, multiply by negative 2x. 1 times negative 2x is negative 2x. This time when we add 2 x's to both sides, the x's totally drop out and we're left with a statement 600 is equal to 0. That's false. So this part we don't even need to do. You have to do it to see if it works, but if it doesn't work from then on, you can ignore it. Now we're going to build our revenue function. Since 150 is the number of units for unit elasticity, we know that 150 marks the top of our revenue curve at the halfway point. And sure enough, when we sketch this from 0 to 300, remember that's our original domain, 150 is directly in the middle. 150 marks the top of our curve. So the revenue function increases or is elastic until you hit 150 units, and then it decreases after that, marking your intervals of elastic and inelastic. We go back to the top, over to your right upper part of the screen in purple. Elastic is the first half. Remember to use a bracket at your starter. Switch at the halfway point and then end with a bracket as well. I hope this video helps you out. Reach out by phone, email, swing by the office if you're on campus and have questions, and I'll do my best to help you out.